You are listening to episode 42 of the Underhook Show. My name is Steve, as always, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, how you doing on this Wednesday evening?
As always, my brother, just ready to talk wrestling, knock it out. Pretty good episode tonight. Ready to discuss it with you.
Yeah, as we get closer to the pay-per-view, things are certainly heating up in AEW as we resume our weekly Dynamite discussion. But before we do, pretty loaded weekend. Unfortunately, I did not get to any of the big shows. Did you?
I saw one match from Elimination Chamber, and it was CM Punk versus Finn Balor. I liked his entry. I like Punk's entrance was the best. The Chicago Bulls Dynasty intro. But
Yeah.
that was the only thing I tuned in for that, to be honest. Oh, and seen Danhausen, my dog Danhausen.
Get in the bag.
Hey, I ain't mad. I'm not mad at all. He get them, and he's for everyone on the internet that's hating this. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. I promise. It doesn't
Yeah,
affect
it's one of those things where people are going to be mad at it for like a week and then just move it, just act.
But
like
then when they see him and R-Truth together, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm indifferent on it. I need to go back for Punk Balor too, because I really like their first match from Raw.
It was a good match, in all honesty.
Yeah, sticking with the Fed, I do also need to go back for Gunther Dragon Lee. I heard that was awesome.
Is it on Raw?
That happened the night, yeah.
I need to go. I need to see Pentagon's match too, just to see him win.
Speaking of, I saw he won the belt, and it was like Ray Phoenix celebrates with his brother, like on socials, and I'm like, they've both been in the company collectively for almost a year, probably about a year now, and they still haven't teamed up.
No.
Interesting.
They mentioned it all the time that they're brothers, but they never teamed up.
Okay, so let's establish that they are. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I believe during that AAA thing before Pentagon or before Phoenix got hurt, whichever one got hurt.
I think they both did it to separate points.
The Lucha Brothers, and they were talking about that on WWE.
Last thing on WWE, because when I'm always talking about my watch list, essentially like every night before, not every night, but once or twice a week before I go to bed, I'll just pull up Cage Match real quick and scour cards and just throw shit on I want to see. And on SmackDown, the dark match was Hobbs or Royce Keys versus Alex Shelley.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, why the hell wasn't that on TV? That sounds sick.
Yeah, but it was sick.
Sick for people who were just entering the building, but I don't know. I missed watching both of those guys wrestle, so if they put them on TV, then maybe I'll watch. I guess the last thing I'll say, because I do know the results from Chamber, every WrestleMania got the Drew McIntyre chair. Because, boy, I highly doubt he's walking in with that belt now, and that just seems like we gotta start having some conversations about how they've booked him post-pandemic, because, man, if he gets shafted again,
yeah,
it ain't looking good.
All signs are pointing to Cody Rhodes is winning that belt Friday night on SmackDown. But I also heard if not, it could be a multi-man match. Still, he's screwing McIntyre over.
Yeah. Otherwise, elsewhere in the world, unfortunately, I did not get to the Dean show, the Death Valley Days Road Report. But I heard both Karl Malenko versus Matt Mako and especially Slade versus Mad Dog were sick. I plan on getting to it today, but like we're rearranging a bunch of shit in the house where my dad's room was, so like I was busy, so I did not get to it yet, but I'm probably gonna get to that this weekend because that's a show where I gotta skip the list and yeah, because there's other wrestlers on there I've been meaning to see for a while, like Tim Bosby and Isaiah Broner.
I heard that name before.
Yeah, Isaiah Bronner, however you pronounce it. Like he looks really sick. Same with in the Tim Bosby match, he did a giant swing with one leg, like holding one leg. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta tap into that. But other news from current events: Shuri beat Athena, and that's setting up a Ring of Honor title defense at some point. That was on the New Japan of America show. And New Japan Cup started, but I don't think there's anything much must watch from the first night. Yuya Uemura versus Great-O-Khan was pretty good. Some dead air in there, but still a good Yuya performance otherwise. But whole lot going on, especially this time of year as we're getting into AEW pay-per-view season that will go right into WrestleMania weekend. It's about a month and some change apart.
We get another match for Joey Janela's spring break.
Yeah, I saw the four. I saw Janela versus -1.
And Sandman versus Invisible Man.
Sandman versus Invisible Man. That's appointment viewing.
They announced Rascals versus Young Alec Price, Oliver, and Marcus Mathers.
Yeah, and then I think there was one more that was announced too.
Whoever Hayabusa's going
Oh, that's
against.
Hayabusa's appearance. Yeah, another thing too from the collective that was announced that I'm really excited for. Keep rambling here, but there's just all these announcements going on. This is a fun time of the year. They're doing the World on Lucha again for Mania weekend, and they're doing Team Gringo Loco versus Team Dragon Gate, which I am hyped for. Maybe not the best trio they could have picked from Dragon Gate because it's Yoshioka, and KZ, but I really like Yoshioka and KZ, and I think Hyo will be fine in a match where there's all those moving parts. I know some fans are soured on his single stuff from like 2024 and all that. Yeah, exciting time with all these announcements coming in, and I'm sure we'll talk about more and more matches as the weekend nears in about a month.
It's like our second Christmas.
And I'll close out our kind of opening current events thing with my normal question. You watching anything else outside of the weekly television? You still on Lucha Underground? Anything else?
Still rocking Lucha. Bill Mortez is my dog right now. Oh, no, sorry. Jeff Cobb's character just came in there now, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, no, I've been rocking with that. Josh was just over here earlier today. We were rocking some Ring of Honor from like 2006 or 7.
Okay.
It was
like Danielson title stuff, right?
This is Homicide just beat. So it was 05, and we just 06 because Homicide just beat Danielson for the belt, and now it's Morishita's time, and the dogs are out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I said, yeah. Came out in the pimp hat, pimp jacket. Yep, it's time. It's time to die. Yeah, because we're just diving into that, man. That's just what I'm walking into.
Fuck yeah. I'm just more 95 ECW. I'm into August, so I'm getting there. I found an Eddie Dean Malenko match that I actually really liked because I feel like my criticism of their series so far is that they've had the same match with the time limit draws. But they had a match in one of their Florida dates that was a lot more focused, and Eddie is just really good in it, especially, which kind of ties into tonight's Dynamite taking place in El Paso. Other than that, Chip, I'm actually getting through January now. Like, I've actually been setting time aside. I'll tell you what, man, that AJ Styles Shinsuke match was awesome.
I still gotta go back and watch that.
It's really good. I was shocked at how much. I knew I would like it. I mean, I like those, especially as a pairing, I like those two, but like they really gave them time and they really let them flesh out like an honest to God wrestling match, which is like not in WWE's wheelhouse right now. Because I mean, like they're really playing into, like Triple H is very much settled into his style right now. But I think for the occasion, he kind of let them off the leash a little bit. It's, they lay their shit in. There's a lot of focused work on the leg. Like, I really dug it, man. I really enjoyed it.
I saw the callback to their Wrestle Kingdom spot. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, they did that, and he did the fucking the Shinsuke versus Sakuraba spot with the knee drop. So like, there's all kind of stuff in there to pick at, and I was really impressed with it, man. Anything else I really liked? Let's see. Yeah, as of now. So okay, before we get into Dynamite, I will give you some context because I did watch Collision. Collision was a Kevin Knight multi-segment show, and that completely set up tonight's show. Show opened with MJF coming out and basically saying, we gotta fix this coin flip bullshit, like, I'm not doing this. Kevin Knight comes out, he's talking his shit, talking about how he has more swag than MJF does, which is an objective fact. And then that just snowballed into the title match that opened tonight's show. However, after the Proto-Kata tag, Jet Speed comes out, and they're issuing challenges left and right, saying, you know, we both beat you guys individually, we should have title shots. And then I believe it was Speedball says, while we're out here making matches, why don't you guys find a third and challenge us for the trios belts? Anytime, anywhere. So a lot of this show was prefaced by Collision, which we have not seen that in a very long time, if ever. Collision has very much been treated as, like, you'd see something where, like, there would be one angle or a match announced for Dynamite on Collision. Obviously, when Punk had Collision, they were both isolated, right? It's been if it hasn't, or if it has happened in the past, it's been a very long time where so much of a Dynamite episode was dictated by what happened on Collision. So that's what you saw tonight. And as we were talking about before we went on the air, I could totally see somebody getting lost if they just didn't tune in. So I'm really glad I went back for it today, because I would have probably been like, "What is happening?"
Me, because the only thing I knew was the Kevin Knight MJF thing, because I seen the promo for it. But
yeah.
Other than that, I knew nothing.
I mean, I don't really have much else from Collision. Like, it was very much it was a fine episode. It was just nothing like stood out to me. Like, Andrade Ishii was cool. Keeps Andrade, on this run. Yeah, exactly. On this run he's been on. And then that Collision closed with him and Bandito doing a stare down, which that got confirmed for Revolution, and our prayers were answered.
But yeah, we're locking into it. I might have to get this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely tapping it. But other things on Collision that I think worth noting: Jay Lethal and Ciampa was actually like pretty good. It was like just a solid ass TV match. And again, once again, Tony Khan scratching that 2014 Ring of Honor itch with that matchup.
Jay Lethal, for his age, he's still. I seen a clip of him like looking like a lot of gray hairs now, but hey, he's still killing it.
Yeah, he was flying around there. Ciampa took a funny ass table bump. Like, he like
swirl.
They were his seconds, so I'm assuming so. If Blake Christian did the most unnecessary, I'm gonna do a flip off of the steps into another flip on the outside. I'm like, dude, you do not have to be doing all that. But also Trent Beretta's back. He was in the Death Riders Don Callis family tag to open the show, and they did a spot where Claudio picked them out of midair with the uppercut, and he did the most Looney Tunes ass bump after impact, and I just laughed at that for the rest of the match. But it was still fun. You got Lance Archer minutes too, so it's
Lance
very
Archer minutes tonight too. He should have been in this match.
Oh my god, dude, the fit tonight. Stick a pin in it. Yeah, stick a pin in it. But yeah, that's about 15 minutes of...
That segment is going to be dedicated to Josh, because he's a little behind on our episodes, and he doesn't know that we're farmers over here, okay?
Yes, big connoisseurs of Lance Archer's swag. But that was a pretty long intro, longer than we normally do, but we'll get through TV here. This was
It's housekeeping, guys, don't worry.
Yeah, hey, real busy weekend, and we didn't even really get to dive into most of it, so we're doing what we can. But AEW Dynamite, March 4th, El Paso, Texas. As we said, Collision prefaced a lot of this show, and I think you and I were both in agreement that this was a very strange show layout for AEW specifically, because we were opening with the world title match. Kevin Knight challenging MJF. Very strange that this was a straight-up world title match and not an eliminator, as they like to do. Part of me thought, because they were going first, that this was going to be a draw. Thankfully, it wasn't, just because I don't think these two going 60 minutes probably not the best idea.
It was a solid opener, though.
I really enjoyed this match. I thought Kevin Knight was electric in this match. There's just so much spark to like everything he does, and he was like the motor here. And to Maxwell's credit, it really felt like he was allowing him to showcase himself, and then he was Max would play off of he would get his own kind of character shtick in the in-betweens, and it didn't feel like it was basically what I've been bitching about with MJF since we started this show. But I think I've seen enough of his title reign now to say that maybe I was a little too concerned, because all of his title matches so far, there hasn't been one that I've hated.
Yeah, no, this one's been a lot better than his last one.
Agreed.
So, and I have an opinion, or we'll get there to the main event. I'll wait for that. Never mind.
Yeah, we got some time for that, but yeah, man, anything I pick at from this match, I think of Kevin Knight. All of the just explosive comebacks, and just, again, like I said, just the energy he brings to this. And a crowd was oddly like against him, it felt like.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. I said at the beginning of the match, when they did the hip toss spot, they cheered for MJF, but then when he did it, they booed him.
Yeah, that added some dissonance. Kevin Knight can play off of that, though, like he did in Arena Mexico. where he did play the heel. I mean, when you're wrestling MJF on AEW television, I don't think you can flip that as easily, but I think he did what he could. What shocked me was that they gave Kevin Knight the visual pinfall in a world title match. That's the usual indication that they have big plans for you. And I figured he would get a push this year, but it feels like it's sooner rather than later, as we would with what would happen at the end of the show. But that being said, a fun opener. Certainly exceeded my expectations, and I think, credit to Max for not driving me insane with this title run. And even more credit to Kevin Knight for making the most out of all these opportunities. He has been so good in this AEW run, and he's only just about at the 1 year mark.
Yeah, he's still a rookie considered.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's accomplished a lot here, and he's only going up from here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after what happens in the main.
Yeah, to set that up though, I mean, Max is gonna use Diamond Ring. Jet Set Rodeo makes the save, and MJF is not somebody who will let things like that slide, as we would see later. Coming into this show, I was pretty shocked to see that we were getting the Clark Connors Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin Orange Cassidy tag, because we just had this down for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I said, man, that's tonight. And then the way the match started, I said, oh.
Yeah, they're throwing this out.
I said, never mind.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, even before we get to the big twist here, I thought this kicked ass through and through.
I love this. You give me these guys all the time. Anyway, Gabe Kidd on my TV, I'm never going to complain, so it's good for me.
Mm-hmm. Seeing the actual match as we imagined, man, this was a blast. It's one of those things where I want to see how long this actually went. There's no bell times yet on Cage Match, but the way I would word it, and this isn't the most eloquent way of putting it, but it was a sprint, but it wasn't a short sprint.
Yeah, no, it was a nice,
felt
friendly
like
jog.
A decent chunk of time, considering all of the wild brawling in the pre-match. That shit on the steps was probably one of the coolest things I've seen Gabe Kidd do ever. With the guillotine choke into the table soup,
hanging him across the thing.
Yeah, that was just wild, and I thought it was
Darby
awesome.
Slammed his head on the apron.
All that too.
I said, "Oh, Jesus!"
They just went for it, man. And then when the bell actually rang, it didn't slow down.
Just kept going.
Yeah,
it was awesome. This is honestly, this is probably my match of the night, just because it held my interest the most.
Yeah, I'd say to me, okay, preface, I didn't see all the main event. I'll explain. But so I can't speak for that. For me, it's between this and Mox Hechicero. But this was just a blast, man. Ton of fun, 1,000 miles per hour, but it didn't feel like it was just shit happening. There was a whole lot of stank behind everything. They were beating the shit out of each other. Darby obviously is going to throw himself into anything as hard as he can. They went for it, and it worked.
It was awesome, and then the ending was even better.
Yep, really cool coffin drop into the orange punch to end the match, but that was not the end of the segment, because holy shit, David Finlay is an AEW.
We are here. We are.
These are my dogs for real, dude. These are my dogs for real.
These are the dogs. This is it. And then, everyone thought he was going to the Fed, but, here he is, AEW. Me personally, glad he's here. But, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, let's talk about that, because I reconnected with a couple of friends. I don't know if they listen to the show or not, so I won't name names. One of them mentioned that the chance of David Finlay showing up in AEW was a lot more likely than any of us initially thought, because of the contract hiccups with NXT, and essentially they lowballed him again. Like, this isn't the first time this has happened. So he said, "Fuck it, I'll go make my money," and I'm really happy. I'm really happy he did. This is a pleasant surprise, in my opinion, because I really turned the corner. Like, I did not like David Finlay's heel turn initially, but 2024 around tournament season, especially the G1 in 2024, I really changed my opinion on him. And I think in the constraints of, say a 20, 30 minute time limit, he's really good in those settings. when you're not asking him to do these epics. And he really developed into a very strong tournament wrestler. And I think now, excuse me, obviously you think of something like Continental Classic. I think that's perfect for him. Trios division is, I mean, that's already there. He has a team. And just some of the matchups on paper I'm already thinking of. Like David Finlay, Darby Allin, that's got to be the pay-per-view match, right?
Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle O'Reilly can come back the third man to be 3-on-3.
Yeah.
If you do that,
Yeah, or Mark Briscoe doesn't have much going on, but I think he's also still in that kind of
I also
Ciampa, Fletcher tier.
I also said Mark Briscoe too, but I was like, and then I thought about Kyle O'Reilly.
He's been gone for a long time too, so hopefully, if he's good to go, then yeah, that would work.
Eventually, we get King Switch back, right?
Yeah, because they never were able to blow that off either. Yeah, there's all kind of fresh matchups for him, and I don't think in AEW he has to compromise his style. You know what I mean? Not that he was doing anything too crazy. He was just fundamentally sound and just doing a lot of high impact shit and working heel. But I mean, they're having Powerhouse Hobbs work dark matches to find the camera. Like they still expect you to, read the rule book, so to speak. And I just don't think David Finlay, I'm sure he would make it work, but like this version of David Finlay in NXT, I think he stick out like a sore thumb. And I think you were alluding to that as well.
Yeah, like that group that they were rumored to put him in with all the Brian Pillman Jr., all the other, William Regal's kid and all that. He would stick out like a top star in that group. You can't put him in that group. So this was obviously the better choice by far for his career, I think.
And he still seems to be like the guy in this group.
Yeah, he's definitely the leader here.
I think that'll be ultimately beneficial too. Not saying that Gabe Kidd couldn't do it. I know some people hate his promo style, and I get it, but it's like, I mean, I get it. Like, I get what he's going for too, but it's like, I think that might take some pressure off of him to where he could just kind of thrive as the heater of the group. So I think that this just kind of benefits everybody involved.
Awesome for him. And that's another trio that you can have that won't ever see this belt because you got to keep intertwining them with other champions. But hey,
Yeah. But with that being said, though, overall, I would say this is a net positive.
Yeah, I like this. It's awesome. You texted me right away.
Oh, yeah. I was shocked. This was a genuine surprise, and we haven't got one of those in quite a while.
Even I looked up. I was like, yo, who is that? I was like, oh, what?
Yeah. So, moving on, though, we got a backstage interview with Bandito and Andrade just to continue the build to their match, which, again, we were like salivating over this last week.
For this.
Going to be sick. Like I said, as long as they don't go too overboard with it, but I think on an AEW pay-per-view card, I don't think they, like, where their card positioning is, I think will be telling. But overall, no reason to be anything less than excited. It said he went to take a picture, but the phone rings to end the segment, so I wonder what that was about.
Yeah, maybe one of them girls, right?
Could be. The Inspiration made their TV debut tonight, and this was another thing that I just did not get the hate for.
No, I like this. We are big Billy Kay, or whatever.
No, it's Jessica McKay.
Sorry, I'm going to call her Billy Kay, because that's what I know her as, and we are big proponents of her on TV.
Yeah.
So, I don't mind it. This was funny. It got the Inspiration on TV, got them, TV time. It got the Birds on TV.
Yeah, gave them another really convincing win. They're building them up for a title shot. So, I just don't think there's any reason to be concerned, because I don't know if people were afraid that they were going to take people's spots, or if it's another, we're just signing ex-WWE wrestlers, but it's like, once you see it for what this actually is, they're going to be there for stuff like this, and I'm sure they're going to be doing bits, which that's what we want to see. Again, Billy Kay is great, specifically Billy Kay. Not that Peyton Royce is particularly bad at it, but Billy Kay just has that knack and the comedic timing that I'm excited to see when they start getting into nonsense and stuff like that.
I was happy. This was good.
Yeah, this was fine. I mean, Brawling Birds, if they don't win the titles outright, I would imagine they would be the challengers for when they're on a heel team.
Yeah.
We go from one squash match to the next. Hangman beats Marty Snow in like 5 seconds.
Yo.
This was sick.
Shut up, Marty Snow, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's give my man some comeuppance.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. Hey, that's a good business day for him. Show up, get clothesline, and leave.
I just want to let y'all know Marty Snow had a great hairline also. So not that I like talk about people, but just shave the head, man. But yeah, Marty Snow came out. I think Hangman's entrance was longer than the actual match itself.
Yeah, it was.
But we see why though.
Yeah, because the promo was longer than all of it afterwards. You get this kind of, what's the word, an overlap between all the challenges that Jet Speed are issuing and MJF just being pissed off. So it kind of turns into this unified front, if you will. Don Callis says, okay, anytime, anywhere, we're going to do it at the end of the night. Babyfaces get jumped. That sets up your main event. AEW does not do this all the time. So I don't know if it was a case of them just trying something new. I think we could talk more about the actual decisions when we get to the main event, if you're cool with that.
Absolutely. I got some notes.
Yeah, I want to hear them. So the first thing on this show that I just really couldn't be bothered with was this FTR Young Bucks pre-tape.
Gonna be transparent. Took care of my kids during this, so I did not see this.
So they had this like sit-down interview that was mediated with no physicality, but like they're trying so hard to heat this up. And Matt Jackson was like, you attacked our brother in front of my kids and his kids, and it's taking everything with me to not just beat your ass right now. And I wasn't buying it, man.
I did see that they got Malachi.
Yeah, which, okay, the angle's fine for that, but I don't know. This just felt weird. Like the pre-tape was very weird, which they would end up having a segment in the building a little bit later. But I'm almost at the point now again to where it's like you're heating it up to this point. You've stepped this thing up plenty of times before, but you're still not doing it now. So I don't know if this is like, if the Bucks are just assuming babyface triumph and they're close to home will be enough. I guess we will, only time will tell once we get the match to the ring.
Asking for this.
No, I'm completely over this. I just hope the match is fun. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't have a doubt in my mind that the match is going to be at least fun, but that's it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're winning now, though. Or maybe not. Actually, maybe not, because of what was teased a little bit later. Speaking of a match that was fun, Jon Moxley still doing it week in, week out. Maybe one of his most interesting matchups on paper, because Hechicero tends to do that with what he brings to the table. And when I was talking about last week, when he wrestled El Clone, where I was saying I was surprised that they didn't do a lot of mat stuff because Orez can do that. This is probably why. Because Hechicero is the guy for that right now. And Mox was able to, at the very least, meet his level.
Yeah, he's, what would they call him? The technician?
The alchemist of the ring.
That one, yeah. So it makes more sense now. If they knew going into this, they were going to have this match,
Yeah.
So this match did rule, though.
Did you catch his new theme?
Yeah, I also caught how either production messed up or he messed up because he went to the left and the pyro went off on the right. And then I said no.
Yeah, man, that could have just been shit happens.
Yeah, I didn't really get to catch like all of his new theme, but I did hear it was different though.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was the kind of like that, if like the hard lore guys were at it again, because it was heavy. I believe it's on YouTube already, so I'll have to check that out a little bit later. But yeah, this was really cool. Not only with the mat work, they were slugging it out at times too. It felt like a nice, if not a clash of styles, a nice common ground of those styles. Something I really appreciated too was when Hechicero was going for the leg, it wasn't just like one part of the leg. There were multiple times where he was like, okay, I'm going to attack the ankle here, and I'm going to go after the knee joint here, and stuff like that. Just putting that attention to detail into it makes it really convincing, and I'm a nerd for that type of shit.
Yeah, I'm more of a hard like the ass beater kind of guy.
Sure, you got your fair share of that.
Yeah. Anytime I head to Cero, though, I'm like amazed at what he does, So I want more of that. I also would like the fact that Mox is going through everybody in the Don Callis family. There's one specific person that he keeps running from. All right?
Yeah.
You know?
Who's that? Who's that, Chris?
You know who it is, all right? I don't have to say it. He's aura farming in the back right now.
Oh, we didn't even talk about it. I glossed over it. Okay, hang on. We need Moxley versus Sunglasses Lance Archer, is what you're saying.
Exactly. With the chain, with the jeans.
Now,
the same outfit, the jeans.
Now, we had the oversized drop shoulder t-shirt with the Jinko print, with the top bun and the sunglasses and the chain.
He said, this is what I do. I get dressed in the dark.
I need Lance Archer's job, dude. I'd be rocking up like that too.
I'm just saying. He doesn't have to do anything. He just arrives, swags out, and leaves. Just for the love of the game.
It's so awesome, dude. It's so awesome.
Just for the love of the game. Come on.
It's just week in, week out, consistent fits on fits on fits.
Yeah, and then come on, man. Mox is scared of him. That's why. Mox can't hold up to that.
What the invent the best dressed award and just give it to him.
That's all it is every year.
Yeah. If he keeps up at this rate, yeah, we're doing it.
Last year runner up was Outrunners in the Newport gear, but
yeah.
Hey.
The Newport gear was fucking awesome too.
And I just like they kept running with it because they started doing all other cigarette brands, so it worked.
Yeah. I think there was it wasn't Pride. It was a different shoot fight, like I don't know if it was MMA or some other sort of martial arts in Japan, but they actually had the ring canvas with a Lucky Strike sponsor, big ass in the middle.
That's where the Outrunners got inspiration from.
Yeah, they're watching tape, dude.
They're tape trading.
Shout out Moxley for the Tower of London in this match.
He said, "I'm doing it."
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go in my bag here.
Reaching, but I hope that means we get Nigel soon. Because I feel like it's been a while since he's had a match.
Yeah.
Final battle?
Yeah, I'll say it's my final battle.
In the Iron Man match. But,
yeah.
So, I don't know. We got some big shows coming up, so maybe Nigel will get back into the mix. Because anytime we get Nigel McGuinness wrestling in the 2020s, it is a bonus. But... yeah, man, this match ruled. You get your nice mix of the ground game with all of the slugging and high impact stuff. What I like too, I'll just say this because I don't want to dwell on this too long. Hechicero did that, the thing where he rolls it on the mat until he is able to leverage the shoulders. I feel like when wrestlers do that, sometimes they go way too long and it's just all right, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But he did this, it felt like just right.
One rotation would be, or whatever he did here was fine, but...
we got a whole clockwise...
yeah, don't gotta keep going around.
Cycle, but then it just felt like the actual transition into the pin landed so well. I was really impressed by that. But obviously Moxley was going to win this one, hitting the Death Rider. Very, very cool match. I was happy that that this lived up to the billing on paper. I know some people have been critical of Hechicero's work in AEW compared to CMLL. But I think this felt like more of the complete package.
Yeah, it's cool. This is definitely my second match of the night.
Yeah. Takeshita comes out in the giant pants.
The Aladdin pants.
Yeah, him and Lance Archer are probably going to the same stores.
Oh yeah, they go to Ross.
Yeah.
Dress for less.
I don't know. Still waiting to see how this match goes because they keep pumping up that no time limit.
Yeah, I think Takeshita might be taking that belt, man.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Moving on, though. What'd you think of this Brody Swerve segment?
I was going to like Brody on my TV, but I just felt like I said, everything just felt off to me. I don't know. I think maybe I'm just off, but this felt off to me, too.
I know I keep asking this for a lot of matches on the card. Given these two's backgrounds, do you think that this constitutes to being stepped up?
No.
Not yet. Just the first match, you just go for it.
First match, go for it, and then what happens after that? Because I don't. AEW has this thing where they step up matches that don't need to be stepped up right away. Hey man, have one at least, and not this one. And on paper, this is gonna be badass. Is this their first? This ain't their first match, is it?
Their first match in AEW for sure. I mean, they're both West Coast guys. It
Yeah,
wouldn't surprise me if they've crossed paths, but I also feel like by the time they're both under exclusive contracts at the end by the end of the decade of Brody and ROH, and I mean, shit, Swerve was in WWE.
Yeah, I'm about to say Swerve.
So let me see here.
I don't like. I know in AEW it's their first match, so you don't need to step it up unless it just depends on what happens next week, I guess.
Yeah. It happened in Defy in 2017. That just sounds like a match that's happened before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, odds are when people in AEW cross paths, that's like, they probably have, even in a tag or something. So that does not surprise me. And yeah, Defy, West Coast, that seems about right. Did I skip the FTR in-ring segment? Am I tripping?
No, it's still not here yet. It comes up.
Okay, yeah, it's after the title match. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Bandito making the save, though, I think that does lean into my theory that they are going to do a tag, and I think it also leans into what you suggested, saying they're going to do it before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I definitely would see that before the pay-per-view. That would be like probably the go-home,
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Yeah, because, I mean, shit, it's been a while since we've seen Brodito as a team.
Yeah, they've been pushing both of them 7, which I'm also all for.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
But yeah, give me that tag match. And then this match, like I said, this match is going to be pretty dope on paper, so I'm hoping it falls off.
Revolution's looking pretty good. I know we got our problems with some of the builds, but like on paper it looks like a good show so far. Still nothing on the women's end though, I don't think. I mean, I guess we could talk about that with the Death Riders promo, which for how much was going on in this one promo, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, there was Yuta.
This is like they're fighting 4 fronts right here.
Yeah, they're just all over the place, but it's also Yuta finally showed his hair.
Bald reveal.
God.
I tweeted today when I was watching Collision, I guess it's kind of like defeats the purpose now because this was like literally ripping off the Band-Aid. Why didn't anybody slap on the Iron Claw on the beanie?
That'd be funny.
Or just any sort of claw hold. That would have been sick, but I guess the ship has sailed. With Garcia calling out the Don Callis family, Yuta just being bald. Like, this was like the rotation style promo. Marina and Tony is building to a singles. I just don't like it.
I love Marina, but I don't want to see that.
I want to see the singles match.
Wait, I know what's going to happen though. She's going to try to hit that stupid little 619 thing and it ain't going to work.
Oh, yeah, that like the 619 into the driver. Yeah, that should work. That there.
One time, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then she tried it again. I said, okay, stop, please.
Certain moves, sometimes it's not on the wrestler. A lot of times people aren't prepared to bump for it. Like,
well, and also it takes 2 to tango, so it's like it depends on who's taking that move too.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because okay, here's an example, and a way different example. When Bayley does the Rose Plant, feels like half the roster doesn't know how to take it. So it could just be a similar thing. So I was saying I do think we are getting this match. I do not think it's like Tony Khan to book a... He's done it before. I believe he did it on Wrestle Dream with Tekla Jamie Hayter. It's not like him, though, on like these big AEW shows for him to book just a blood feud women's singles match that isn't like a street fight. And I don't think they go that far yet.
Yeah, this would be a normal one-on-one first.
Yeah.
It's interesting, I guess.
Yeah. Moxley, though, going incendiary on everybody to close this out. He called out Don Callis family and multiple promotions, which was I found was very interesting. We do have Homenaje a Dos Leyendas coming up at CMLL's Big Spring Show, which 2 years ago they did Blackpool Combat Club versus CMLL to close the show.
Better Danielson.
Yeah. Where it was like Mox, Danielson, Claudio, and Matt Sydal filling in for Yuta.
So I was like, why is Sydal that Yuta was hurt or something, right?
Yeah, Sydal took the pin, but he was a lot of fun in the match. I don't know where the hell that guy is now. I hope he's okay. Yeah, he disappeared.
I just smoke with some of that good natured relief, you know what I'm saying? Oh, speaking of Sydal, I just saw a match back in my Ring of Honor watch here on the same event. It
Mm-hmm.
was weirdest tag team match ever. Jack Evans and Shingo against Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal, who were the Ring of Honor tag team champions.
What the hell?
Yeah, and the entrance is funny because it's they're coming out to disposable teens because that's Danielson's theme song. They're
Mm-hmm.
coming out, and you see like Danielson being him being all evil, and then Matt Sydal in the back just hitting the peace pose. It's just the
Yeah,
weirdest
'cause
thing
it's like
ever.
2006 Matt Sydal too, so he's like all clean cut shit.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
man, this is fucking hilarious. But yeah,
Shingo and Jack Evans is wild.
yeah, no, it was a weird, weird. I was like, all right,
It was a cool match at least.
yeah, good match. I mean, solid Jack Evans match. Shingo being like he has to be a solid like 20, 21-year-old in this thing.
Oh yeah, that is a cool matchup though. We get to Tekla's first world title defense against Thunder Rosa, which I get the opponent. I feel like whenever they're in South Texas, Thunder Rosa's usually not far. I believe that's where she lives these days. Which, not a bad first defense, but I did think that the layout of this match was strange because like it felt like the whole first half of this match was exclusively offense from Thunder Rosa.
I was just waiting for the Chris Statlander heel turn, but it never came.
Well, she's been acting like it though. Like she's had this like very
She's been acting like a
stoic,
Terminator.
yeah, like this very stoic, just emotionless, just kind of. It feels like she's hanging over your shoulder. You know what I mean?
Kind of feels like she's possessed by the Sisters of Sin. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like you look at
Never
her.
thought of
You know,
thought of that.
you know what I'm saying? Look how she's acting, kind of like how they very methodical, I guess you could say.
Think stats subscribe to if you can't beat them, join them.
We talked about last week. I mean, you don't have that many heels.
I would have preferred her just joining the Death Riders at that rate.
But yeah, that would have been better. But I mean, having Marina, the only woman in there though, kind of
It
makes
does
it
make her
cooler.
stand out, yeah, and
Yeah, it makes
she's very unique.
So I thought about that too, but I was like, having Marina in there though, it's badass. Just having her in there is awesome. Everything, don't.
Yeah, because there's nobody like her in the company.
Yeah, no.
I mean, think what you want about her work, which I don't think she's really had a chance to show everything she can do, like compared to what she's doing on like the Fi shows. But as far as just her as an on-screen presence, like she brings a lot to the table.
Of course, they never got Shayna Baszler, so I mean,
Yeah, she was announced for Bloodsport though, so we'll be seeing her pretty soon.
so is Pete Dunne.
Yeah, Pete Dunne, not one of the Americanos.
Yeah, no. What are you talking about? Different people.
Oh, yeah. Apparently on Raw they ran Gable versus Pete Dunne, but they're both in Lucha gimmick.
Okay, so fun fact, in AAA. So at
Yes, I
AAA,
know.
he's face, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's face, and he was wearing the green getup. But in the Chad Gable was wearing the black getup in AAA. But then on WWE they just reversed it. Like so that way like Grande is the heel, but 2.0 is the face.
It's like that. Oh man, it was one of the abridged YouTube shows from like 15 years ago, and one of us was like, "We're just making all this shit up." What? You're the only one who gets to make shit up? That's the creative room right now, but that is wild. But I think Kaiser like genuinely won over the AAA audience.
No,
And,
he
like
did.
like he's fluent in Spanish, and yeah, so good for him.
Moxley era, like Moxley-esque turnover.
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty wild.
yeah. So I'm like, and I will say I watched a couple clips of like, and I don't know, like I might have to tune in some AAA maybe. I don't know.
I was considering it because they book Omos.
That's why I want to tune in.
I miss our dog, dude.
And he's with Vikingo, which I mean I fuck with Vikingo. I don't know why. I still don't understand why they hate him, other than they love Del Rio and hate him. I don't know.
Yeah, that don't make sense. But it's almost like Ludwig Kaiser. Excuse me. It's almost like Ludwig Kaiser is a good wrestler, and when given a chance to shine, he can. It's funny how that works, but going back to Dynamite, yeah, it just felt strange. Like, it felt like Tekla had to come back as a heel, and just felt like the dynamics were strange. But we all knew what was going to happen, and she successfully defended. And a post-match beatdown, and there was no turn, no nothing. Stat just kind of
Came out there and stood over her like a team.
yeah, and then just kind of helped her collect herself and the heels got out of there. Right. So now we get to this Ciampa in the building promo. Wasn't in the ring. It was kind of cool how they shot it. Kind of reminded me of AEW kind of does like the superstars thing where like their backs are to the crowd.
Yeah, I fuck with this. And they do smaller venues, especially when they're in smaller venues.
Yeah, I think it really works. And obviously, like, you know, Renee's great at what she does, but Ciampa gets cut off by FTR.
Yeah, you know what's coming.
The verbiage is very telling because Ciampa said something along the lines of "we," and who is we?
Him and Mark Briscoe.
That would make sense because I don't think Johnny's
jumping.
jumping.
I already said it's Gary. If Johnny jumps, I'll be shocked.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, I honestly think that would be a sick match.
I think
it would be a sick match. Obviously, Mark has well-established chemistry with FTR. Ciampa does too. And I think this is a way to where you're not just picking at either NXT nostalgia or 2002 Briscoes, to where you're getting the names and faces out there doing so, even if it's just a Collision main event. Because I believe we're getting Dax versus Ciampa on Collision. At least that's what they alluded to.
When this happened, actually even like Gargano, and I was like, I don't see it happening to me. So I was like, it's probably Mark Briscoe, especially Mark Briscoe got nothing else going on currently.
Yeah, and in his pre-tape he mentioned Ciampa by name, just kind of saying, "I'll keep my eye on you," which doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna feud anytime soon. Yeah, it just strange development. I think a lot of people were hitting the panic button. I think Gargano's NXT run has not aged well with a lot of people, and therefore they do not really want him in AEW because, you know, a lot of people who were black and gold people, now AEW people, etc. I just don't see him leaving WWE. I feel like that's where he wants to be, and it seems like him and Candice are content with just doing what's asked of them and being parents.
So as in, they're always featured on SmackDown. So why leave? Like, I'm not saying that sounded bad, but why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why leave?
I mean, yeah, it's like they don't have to necessarily be attached to each other at all times. So.
Yeah, they're still friends outside of work, guys. It's okay.
Yeah, interesting because, you know, wrestlers mentioning something on screen normally develops into something. In that Toni Storm backstage segment, she mentioned the War Dogs by name.
I didn't hear this Orange Cassidy. I didn't hear what she said in the Orange Cassidy things.
She was essentially like just asking what's going on. She's like, we got Death Riders, we got War Dogs, we got Death Riders. Which Orange Cassidy was feuding with both, kind of. But I enjoy OC and Tony's chemistry on screen. I just don't know where they're going with it.
It's like the comedy though that they do. Like she was saying all this, and he just looked at her and went, it's all crazy.
He's like, how'd they get in here when Tony's the one who let them in?
Who let them in?
Yeah. Main event time. Don Callis family versus Jet Speed Rodeo. This was Don Callis family. We got an Aussie Open reunion in Don Callis family, which you and I have been talking about for a while, it feels like.
The story goes.
Mm-hmm. Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada successfully win the trios belts off of MJF interference. I will tell you everything that I saw, and then I want you to give me feedback on this.
I'll fill in the blanks the best I can, my friend.
Essentially, I must have just had some like hypersomnia moment in the commercial break. To be fair, this match did not start till after 9.
To be fair, they also lied to us because they said minimal commercial breaks, and they took 17 of them.
Yeah, there's all their heat, I feel like, was in the picture-in-picture too. So, with that being said, all I remember of this was that really fucked up Rana speedball hit into the triangle moonsault, and then the finish. So, what happened?
MJF comes out with first, bad camera work, by the way, because they actually show Okada calling the ref over for the spot. And it was clear as day. It's like, what's going on? Because I didn't know what was going on, you know? And I'm like, what's he doing? But then MJF comes out with the ring, and he hits, was it Speedball, I believe? Or was it Knight?
I think it was Speed.
No, it was Knight. It was, because Mark picks him up and hits him with the close your eyes and count the fuck, and then wins. But yeah, he comes out with the ring, because Kevin Knight was on top. He was going to go for the UFO splash, and then MJF laid Hangman out, so it caused a distraction.
Yeah, I think, okay. we knew they were going to get these belts off of them eventually. Hangman should not be in any sort of tag scene right now.
They did that because of the Powerhouse Hobbs situation.
Yes. So this was housekeeping. You mentioned it earlier. Yeah, it is a bit messy when they're putting belts on people with belts. I think it still works considering how heavily featured Mark Davis has been out of the Jake Doyle injury, which Jake Doyle posted like a video package on his Twitter this week. So I hope that means he's close to coming back. But so I don't necessarily mind the decision. I still think it isn't as clean as it could have been, given that, like you said, Fletcher and Okada holding belts, which realistically, I mean, they those belts could be elsewhere as well. But Hangman being freed of it needed to happen. But I think the person who benefits from this more than anyone is Kevin Knight.
Yeah, because now he's going to get that world title shot, because I think Hangman's winning that belt.
I'm starting to think so too.
Because I said he dropped these titles, and if I'm going into like wrestling trope, MJF cost him that. You know, the payback's going to be MJF winning that.
Again, talking about the friends I spoke with over the weekend, conversations about the Revolution card and builds, my perspective has changed, given that there's still a lot they could do with Hangman winning the belt back. Be it like, you know, the Kenny match, they've never done Swerve and Hangman for the title. Only the triple threat with Joe. And who's to say that they just don't run back Ospreay Hangman in London? So I'm not as like opposed to it. Not necessarily opposed, but like I would say I'm believing it more as we get closer to the match that he will win this back. And to be fair, we are coming off of a very, very long title reign with Moxley. So maybe they're just switching it up to where we aren't getting these
predictable.
I mean, when did he win the belt? So he beat Danielson at Wrestle Dream. So he held it from October to July. So that's October to July. So that's like 10 months, right?
Yeah, about 9 months. 10 months.
10 months. Hangman holds it from July to December. It's about 5 months. And this would be a 3-month from MJF. By the way, remember when I like wasted like damn near 20 minutes trying to figure out who he was defending against on the Indies? It was Zilla Fatu.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I believe it was in Hog.
Speaking of Hog,
because they did that at Hog, they shot that Andrade pre-tape with MJF.
Speaking of Hog, my man Ricky Sosa is coming to Hog.
Oh my God.
That's only a step away from him just coming to the States, and I can see him. That's all I want.
You have to imagine what it will be like when he does that entrance in Chicago.
I'm going nuts. Let me tell you something, sir. If I'm there, yeah.
Is he booked for Mania weekend?
I don't know. I just know that Hog announced.
He has to be.
Hog just announced that he was coming, and then he got pulled out of the WXW tournament. So
yeah, which is this weekend. I want to talk about that before we sign off.
He got pulled out of that because I heard he was going to TNA.
That's very tricky waters to navigate, because I get why TNA would sign him, and I'm not slighting his ability, but like the entrance that goes away when you're talking licensed music.
Yeah, but that's not.
I'm not saying he's just an entrance guy,
but that's not. Yeah, but if he gets the rights to it, because that's a UK trap song. So I'm like, you could just do it. That's your name, man. You got it.
Yeah.
I found a Ricky Sosa. I found a shirt online, and since it's coming from like France, that thing was like $1 bajillion, and I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, customs and shipping and all that. So I'll just say overseas stuff too. Suplex just did a Sandman drop.
Yeah, so that's where I found the Ricky Sosa shirt at, was that Suplex, because
they're UK based.
Well, I went on there because I wanted that Jerry Lynn one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just browsing. I saw they had Ricky Sosa. I was like, yeah, let me see how much this is. And I did all that, and it came with like $70. I was like, I love you, but I can't afford that for a shirt.
I only have one. I got when they did the official Masala drop, where like they like did like the state with the family, and I've worn a bunch. Super soft, and it's that style of print where it's like embedded in the shirt, so like it doesn't crack or nothing. I'm very happy with my item from them, so I'd give them a thumbs up. But yeah, back to Kevin Knight. 2 segments on Collision. 3 segments, 2 matches tonight with a visual pinfall over the world champion. Now he's no longer I don't think Jet Speed's going anywhere, but like I would have him beat Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title.
I can see that. Why not?
I mean, that's a good indication of who's next. I'm not saying the TNT title's beneath Fletcher, but it's like it kind of is.
He's above this belt now, honestly.
Yeah, he's main event level. We've known this for a while, and it seems strange that they would put it back on him. So, unless they're doing that triple threat where they all have belts at Dynasty, after like applying Takeshita beats Mox, I would have Kevin Knight just beat Fletcher for it, man. Because what you get out of that is
all set. It's all set enough for Fletcher, Ospreay in London again, bro.
Or that.
I mean, why not?
I mean, or that might even be the final of the tournament. Like, I think there's all kind of stuff you could do, but just staying on Knight, him beating Fletcher for the TNT title does two things. It's a clear endorsement of where they're going with him, and who doesn't want Kevin Knight having sick matches on TV every week? Because he's clearly capable of doing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have no problem with that. Because it's like their Intercontinental title. So, like, anytime I see whoever has this belt, I know they're pretty much next in line.
Yeah, it very much feels like they could use it now. Like with Fletcher, now with Kevin Knight, you could use it as that kind of how they used to use the Intercontinental title signaling. Yes, this guy's next. Almost the, not rehearsal, but the test run, if you will. And, yeah, that was Dynamite. I think, granted, I need to go back and watch the main. That's my fault. But hey, 42 episodes, I didn't slip up. So I think might have been due one. But I thought it was a fun episode, though, despite the kind of wonky layout.
Yeah, I think my only issue was, like you said, I didn't watch Collision. So, like, I didn't really understand some of the stuff. And, like, layout was weird. The matches were good. I'm glad that Mark Davis is still getting showcased, even though Jake something's hurt currently. So anytime Dunkzilla's on my TV, I'm good. But I wasn't bad. Interested to see where we're going for the go home show.
Holy yeah, go home's next week. Damn.
Yeah,
I can't quit. Man. I'm ready for a pay-per-view though. This World's End to Revolution cycle, which granted I know I've had a lot going on personally, but it just feels like it's time. Like it feels like time has kind of crawled, and I'm ready for a pay-per-view. So I'm looking forward to next week. We will be back with go home show review and preview and predictions for Revolution in Los Angeles, and anything else going on that weekend. But this weekend I will one last thing. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, WXW Carat tournament is this weekend. 16 karat gold tournament, that is. The field is really weird, but there is some really cool matchups. Chihiro Hashimoto is wrestling Thomas Shire in the first round, and I think the world of Big Hosh. I think she is one of the most complete professional wrestlers on the planet and has been for quite some time now. And the cool thing is that this year is actually streaming on IWTV. So you don't need to go buy a different subscription service.
I might have to do that because I like WWE, man.
Yeah, and Carat usually gets some really good stuff, and they're running the Inner Circle shows as well. I'm not going to be following it all live because, one, it's like a 6-hour time change. For example, like a German soccer match in the afternoon airs here at like 8:30 in the morning, so I don't even know when these shows are going to be live. And there's like one show Thursday, and then the rest of the weekend, I think there's 2 shows a day. So that's a lot. But the good thing about IWTV is usually the video on demand goes up right away. So I will be on there this weekend to watch Dean, and I will check out some of the tournament for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out. I got to lock into some stuff. But I just been chokehold of Lucha Underground.
Yeah, well, hey, man, as long as you're finding shit to enjoy, that's why we do this, so.
Exactly.
But, yep, keep it locked here next week for Go Home and all the other happenings heading into the pay-per-view. But I'm really looking forward to it, man. I think it feels like we're kind of hitting our stride as we get into the spring of pro wrestling. So I look forward to, yeah, go ahead.
I can't wait till WrestleMania week, because that's going to be we're going to be locked in.
Got a notification from Xfinity, by the way, that the ESPN package is now included, so I don't have to, if I do actually watch Mania, which I probably will, let's be real, I don't have to jump through a billion hoops now. I get it for free, so.
Jumping through said billion hoops.
More power to you, my friend. But if you got this far in the pod, thank you so very much. For Steve and for Chris, we'll talk to you again next time.
See ya.